Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Darla Lucian of Darla Lucian Studios, and we are going to make Frankinpapers today. I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but they're super fun to make. But before we get going, I'm just going to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you have, welcome back. Hit the notification bell. That way you will be updated as to when I have videos uploaded, and you can see them right away. Comment. Let me know what you think about these Frankinpapers. Have you ever made Frankinpapers before? What do you do with your scraps? And share. Share with other crafty people, and let's keep the inspiration rolling. All right. Frankinpapers. My favorite way to use up scraps. Well, that's maybe not true, but it is today. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I did and how to make them. We're going to make two kinds. So true Frankinpapers don't have any base at all. And beginner Frankinpapers start with a piece of scrap paper that you build it on. And, sorry, I'm going to have to keep checking that I'm recording because I've already done this video once with these ones. As you see, they don't have any stitching on. And then these ones, then you take them to your sewing machine or hand stitch them, and it just adds a totally different look to them. So each side will look unique, and I am going to show you kind of what I came up with. So I have done a few of these because I'm just kind of getting ready and gearing up my fall kits that I make for myself. When I put a journal together, I always put a kit together of the things that I think would go in. And came across a whole bunch of scraps, and I just thought, you know what? In order to use all these scraps, they need to be in a more usable form. And having these as pages that could go in a journal. So this one was, this yellow one showed the printing through from the scrap paper. And I didn't like that. And I had this other crinkly one that had been written on. It was kind of peachy color. And I just thought, you know what? So double Frankinpaper on that one. And this is going to look really neat inside. Just imagine what that'll look like, right? You get to see some of the stitching, and then some of the... They do not fold as easy, so I will use my little embossing tool to make a groove before I fold so that it doesn't go wonky on me. And some of these I just left the paper that was under because I didn't mind the pattern showing through. I mean, red works for fall, don't you think? And here, I really like this one. So I just did the stitching up like this and down and over and up, and you know, and so it just adds a different look to it, because before it was very long feeling, and now it's got that other direction happening, and so it helps it out. And like, you don't have to be fancy. Here I stitched around almost every shape, but on this last one, the only thing I did was stitch the edge, which is fine. I like it. You could stitch these too. And I have a very basic sewing machine. So I have zigzag and I have a straight stitch. And I thought, you know, for Frankenstein type paper, zigzag is best maybe. But if you've got fancy stitches, you know, can you imagine like a leaf pattern or a vine and leaf pattern along the edge, or, you know, all the different kinds of stitches that those can do. All right, so like I said, you need to have a base first, scrap paper. So I want to do an 8.5 by 11. So let's just make sure that this one is going to fit our parameters. So we need 8.5 this way. Yep. By 11 that way. Yes, it is good. Awesome. All right, and I don't think we're going to use the, we're not going to use the cutting, like the Fiskars thing. I'll use my ruler as a tear ruler. All right, so then you need some scraps. And guess what? I'm so good for scraps yet. It's amazing how fast scraps can build up. And so I just kind of collected some from different projects. I even have some pieces of book page from a children's book, which I think is just kind of interesting. You know, we could just put something there, and there's an orange piece. It's a little bit like collage, and who doesn't love a bit of good collage to get your day going? What else we got here? Oh, there's another piece of book page. We could put that over top maybe, like that. that's kind of an odd piece. We'll see if it finds a home later. Maybe something like that. Move that up a little. Okay, what else do we got here? I'm trying to save some of these stiffer ones for when we do the true Frankinpapers, because those stiff ones do add a little support to the page in a way that this flimsy stuff isn't as good at. Oh, look at, there's some gold here. What if we did something like that? That'll just add an interesting look to it. Oh, we got some bird here. I can put that down there. We need a little strip for along there. So this is the same color, so I'd really like a different one if I can find something. What do we see here? That's too small. Well, there's this. There's this. Oh, this is a really pretty color. Oh, but this is already kind of the right size. So let's steal that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, like that. Alright, so we need something for under here. Maybe something up in here. Well, what if we took this one, move that one over here? That might help us out a little. Dum-dum-dum. What else do we have? Just slightly short there. Oh, we could bring that in. Then put a little piece right there. Do I have something that would go there? Let's see. Keep looking. Keep looking through the pile. I never know what we'll find. Oh man, we got so much of that stuff yet. I really liked it when I first bought it, I guess. Not as fond now, apparently. Alright. What about some of this beautiful red envelope? This might be the right. Oh, don't do that. This might be the right shape better. What if I do this one instead? Like that. I like how if it comes here, it separates these two a little, which I like that idea. So I still need something for that corner. What's this? Yeah, that'll work. There we go. That corner's done. So we just need a little bit for this one. Let's see what we got. I don't know. Oh, here's some more book page in just some different colors. Let's see what we got. Oh, there's this tree, or there's this. Is this the right size? I think it is. There we go. All right, so that's what we're going to start with. We're going to glue this down. All right, so then the trick is, like with collage, is like, okay, where do we start? What's the first piece? So it looks to me like this one is definitely under everything. Always start with the bottom. I'm just using Oohoo glue stick, magic blue. I always call it blue magic. I don't know. That's just me. I like it though. It's lovely. So this is actually a piece from a magazine. So you can use any kind of thing for like when you're using the base, right? Like I was, you know what? I'm going to do it this way because there's the pattern in. The pattern will be covered up a little bit at the top. You know, like with the base, you've got that sturdy bit, so you can, I'm going to put this one down next, you can, you know, use the flimsier stuff like magazine, or, you know, you could even put tissue paper in here if you wanted to, like pattern paper. That could work too. Alright, let's see here, all the way to the top. Then it looks like this one goes down next, up there. Oh, some more magazine paper. It's funny, hey, you don't always notice what it is until you kind of have it in your hands. Okay, I don't want to stick it anywhere except where it's supposed to go, so let's see here. Move some of those things out of the way. All right, this one was next. Up there. Make sure it's good and covered. You don't have to be too fussy about it because, you know, we are planning on sewing it later. So that does mean that, you know, even if you just kind of tack it down, it's gonna be good because it will be that really nice stitching to hold it in place and be firm and it won't shift on you. And you know, the more pieces you have, like the smaller the pieces are, is what I'm trying to get at, the more you are going to need to stitch. You're going to have to get more stitches on so that you can make it secure, because once it's bent, like folded in half, or you know, you use it in whatever projects you're going to use it in, you know, especially if you're using this kind of glue, it might just pop off your page depending on, like this is not too shiny, but so then if you're not going to stitch it, I'd recommend you use something a little stronger like tacky glue. It will take a little bit longer for your project to dry, I realize, but it's still, I think it'll be worth the wait. All right, I think we're going to do that one next, and then we'll work on this other side. So it looks like this is from an activity book, and it is an oldie. And this might be from an activity book from when I was a kid, because it is feeling awfully vintage. And you know what they say, vintage is 20 years or older. And I'm definitely 20 years or older. We won't talk about that. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, that half is done now. What did we do over here again? Do you remember? I think this one down first. And then we can glue on top of it. This may require a lot of glue. Make sure you have your glue sticks at the ready. It's always good to know where you're at with your glue sticks. I have to order some again for fall, I think, because I've just been burning through these ones. I don't know why I mustn't have read the label clearly, because I would have never bought ones this small. I mean, I have already gone through 3 this size today. Not today. This week, I mean. Goodness, I'm going to get you worried about this project just by saying it like that. Okay, I think this one comes down after, so let's put this down first. And it's okay to overlap. In fact, that part looks good, right? And the more overlapping that happens, the more interesting it looks, in my opinion. You know, the kind of almost woven together look of it. It's fun that way, I think. All right. No, I didn't have that quite over far enough. That's all right. I don't mind that look anyway. It's not like you can see anything on the scrap paper underneath. It has very little writing on it, actually, which is fine. Okay, and now here we go with this. Oh my goodness. My husband and my son are making tacos for supper from scratch. Shells too. And it is smelling so good in here. Okay. So where do we want this? Kind of there. I don't want to overlap too many things, but I like overlapping some of the seam of it. There, yeah. Okay, so like I really like how this turned out. Now I'm not going to sew because my sewing machine ends up being right here in your face, plus the wiggle of my camera. I would make you seasick. So I will stitch these, but that's why I showed you the ones that I did. Okay, so we have this one done. Oh, I have to trim the side here. So this is, if you have a little bit of an overhang, which is fine, because sometimes you just want to make sure you're flush with the edge, you just flip it over so you can see the edge. And there you go. We are not going to save that piece. I am not worried about that size. All right, so yeah, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use this as a template. So we're not going to glue down on this side. We're going to make our true Frankenpaper one now. And that means the one that needs a little bit stiffer paper and a little bit larger pieces, I think, as well. So, like like that, for example. Now keep in mind that some of these are colored on one side and white on one side, and some are colored on both sides. If you're lucky enough to get some of those, they work really, really well. Oh, I was going to use some of this coffee dyed, don't you love the sound? Coffee dyed stuff, but that didn't come together. Okay, and this one is on one side. Do I have any more of the double-sided stuff? Oh yes, is this double-sided? Nope, that's not either. Okay, so I have to be paying close attention then. So this one could go like that. Do I want to do, that's really big. Okay, let's take this back a bit. Here we go. Reevaluating. Okay. All right. So I have, let's see, something like that on this side. Does that make sense? Like I'll do it on this side and then I'll flip it over and I'll build the color on the other side. So there'll be a lot of white space here, which is fine. Let me just get that torn off so that it's even here. Even-ish. You know what? I'll just trim it at the end too. All right. So this is it upside down, right? And so it's all white, so we want to have some color on this side. So we could have, see, it doesn't matter if the same papers are touching each other because you can't tell, because the paper is from the other side. Oh, that looks nice together, doesn't it? I really like how that looks. Okay, so now I have this big space there. What color do I want up in there? What was that pretty orange one earlier I saw? Oh, there's kind of 2 shades, 3 shades. Oh yes, from that one that I did the 3 colors across, right? So this is interesting. So now I have a different idea of what I might want to do. Wouldn't that be fun along a page like that? What if I do that on the back? Just like so. And then maybe this on top. And then that. There's a lot of color happening here, but this other side is... What if we flip this one? See? All these plans. So this is why I don't glue it down at the beginning. Because I may change my mind about 6 times as I find a new scrap that inspires me in a different direction. All right. Okay, that there. And then I need something for that hole there and something for that hole there. Well, we're bound to find something, hey? How about that for that hole there? A little pudgy, but it'll do. And that one is kind of more narrow. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this piece is patterned on both sides. I think I want to put the bright side down. There, like that. Okay, so now, here's the thing. Now we have to be careful not to glue to the sheet that's underneath, because we want to just glue these little loose papers to each other. And that can be tricky, but I think if we start with this end, because it has the 2 that are together, I think that's going to be our saving grace. So let's start here with that. We'll leave these 2 down like this, 3 down, and actually let's glue this down first. Upside down, granted. So, coming on, it feels weird to glue the front side, I have to tell you. Okay, here we go. That goes on there. Still square with the top, good, good. Alright, so then let's start at the bottom. this whole thing goes down right here. And now I'm going to try to line up the corner, not with my paper, because my paper, as you remember, is overhanging. Now, do I want that one at the top with that one kind of in the middle? Yeah, that's what I want this time. I want to change it up so that they don't always completely mimic each other. They're just adjacent. You know, the colors on using like a stack of colors from a project like this really allows, or a stack of papers, allows the colors to coordinate so nicely. And I think that that part is definitely part of the fun. I'm going to just not use the whole square on this. I'll use part. And then we'll tear off what overhangs here. There we go. All right. Now, these two are the last two. So I feel like I should do this one first, because it's the bigger one. Okay, so lining up with that corner, and then lining this top one up, and now I'm going to try to peek under and get the glue where it needs to be. Oh, I moved everything. Oh well. Alright, moved it back. No, I did not move it back. Let's try that again. There we go, now it's in the right spot. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have glue outside. It will dry white. This magic glue does anyway. Alright, so this next piece goes here. And I'm going to just put this down here as kind of a template so I know exactly how wide to do on there. Alright, here we go. So this is going to secure the two sides together. Alright, now, keeping in mind we're not as worried about it sticking together too badly, because of course our expectation is that we are going to, oh, you know what, I don't even need this little piece. That's good. And that we are going to stitch it after. So, just kind of get my, sorry my head's in your way a little bit maybe, but I just wanted to get under there and get the glue where I need it. And so, obviously this works better if they're tacked down a little bit, so that when you go on your sewing machine doesn't go, I don't know, but I think I'm going to pull up all your corners. which would suck. Alright, so, oh, and I still ended up sticking a little bit to the bottom. Oh, that side didn't stay down. See that? It came up. But let's try again. There we go. Alright, so Frankinpapers. So then you would take this to your machine and stitch around, maybe even stitch around that, and stitch around, for sure that shape would be good. And look at how cool they look. And you know, in these blank spaces, you can leave those for writing, or you could like stamp an image. You know, how nice would this look with a fall leaf or an owl or something there. And here is the other one that was on the base. And again, so this side is plain right now, but you could wipe it down with some paint or some coffee and change the color up, or you could stamp the heck out of it, just fall leaves every which way, or you know, press dried flowers on there. Whatever you do with a blank page to break your page, right? I hope you very much enjoyed watching me make some Frankinpapers out of my scraps. Hopefully I inspired you to do something with your scraps. What do you do with your scraps? Do you do Frankinpapers? Have you ever tried that? Or what's your favorite way to use up scraps? I would definitely like to hear about that, so just comment, and we will just catch you in the next video. Thanks so much, everybody. Much love.